there was a time where we referred to ourselves as colored people. Is that right? Yes, but we never looked up the word colored to know what it means. Colored means to distort, to change. Let me get one more. To be biased. So now this is not a description of us, but this is a description of what the enemy did to us. So in the lessons, it calls the enemy the colored man. Because what has happened, he's colored our perception of reality. So when we were growing up, right, we played, cowboys and Indians, right? And the Indians were the bad guys, and the cowboys were the good guys. And the reality is the cowboys were the bad guys, and the Native Americans were the good guys. Is that right? But they colored our perception of reality. Is that right? They colored our perception of Paul Robeson and said he was a communist. Is that right? They colored our perception of Marcus Garvey. They colored our perception of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And they tried to color our perception of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan by saying that he's a racist, that he's an anti-Semite. Is that right? But they never define those words, do they? Well, I'm going to bring a definition so that we will know that the Honorable Louis Farrakhan is not what they describe of what a racist is. A racist or racism is the unjust treatment of a people by others who falsely believe that their race by nature is superior to another, and who have the political and economic and military ability to enforce their attitude. We don't have that ability. You can't pull a white man over and give him 20 tickets. Can you do that? Black police don't even think like that. Is that right? Can you turn off somebody's gas? No, you can't do that. You can get yours turned off. Is that right? So we're not colored. What about Negroes? Are we Negroes? Now, the term that we use today is nigger, but it's the same word. And all it means is a person that is dead. Dead mentally, dead spiritually, dead economically, dead socially. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? The word Negro is a word that means dead. Are you with me? It's not a good word. I know what you say. You say, well, see, what you got to understand is when we call each other niggers, see, we're taking the power away from the white man. So he can't hurt us with the word. So we use the word like that, brother. Well, why don't we follow that same logic with everything else? When the police pull you over, why don't you beat yourself up? Take the power away from him to beat you up. Beat yourself up. You understand what I'm saying? When you go in the bank to get a loan for a house, ask them to give you a higher interest rate. Don't wait for them to jack the interest rate up. Tell them, look, so you don't have the power to give me a higher interest rate. I want a higher interest rate. You don't do that, do you? When you go to buy a house, tell them, I want my house on a landfill so I can die from the poisons that are coming up from under the ground. So now you don't have the power to do it. I'm going to do it to myself. That's crazy. But I'm going to tell you why we act like that. When you go to negotiate your salary, tell them you want the lowest possible salary. To remove the power from him to give you the lowest possible salary. Makes no sense. Now, you're not a nigga. You're not a Negro. See, we just want to make an excuse to make the white man right in what he did to us. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Now, are we African Americans? What are you talking about? We're from Africa. We live in America. How do you mean we're not African Americans? Who was Africa named after? Who was America named after? Africa was named after a man, a Roman general by the name of Scipio Africanus. I have a picture of him. That's it right there. Now, when Hannibal conquered Rome, you know, the black general from North Africa, Hannibal conquered Rome, Scipio Africanus led a sneak attack back to North Africa. And he conquered North Africa. And now let me go back and say this. There was a small tribe in North Africa with that name, just a small tribe. So when this man came and conquered Africa, they gave him the name Africanus. Then the Romans are the ones that renamed not that just small area Africa, but the whole continent. Are y'all with me? So the reason that we call it Africa is not because that small tribe had that name. The reason that we call it Africa is because this white man conquered Africa. And America, if you could flip it over for me, America is named after another white man, Amerigo Vespucci. So now, why would you call yourself after two white men? Now, thank you, Brother Shaheed. Everywhere, all praise is due to Allah. See, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us root knowledge, not branch knowledge. See, everywhere the Europeans went when they started to explore the world, they found black people there already. So we can't limit ourselves just to Africa, nor can we limit ourselves just to America, nor can we limit ourselves just to these two continents when the whole planet Earth belongs to the black man and woman. Are y'all with me? All praise is due to Allah. The earth is ours. So now, let's deal with this last one. Should we call ourselves black? I know what you're saying. Well, there's no country called black. We just said that we're from everywhere. You can't limit us to a landmass. But what does black mean? Black means universal. Black is not local. Black is universal. Black is not national. Black is universal. Black is not a color. It's the essence of all colors. Everything in the universe came from blackness. The scientists call it dark matter. Is that right? Every life in the universe comes out of triple darkness. Where did you come from? You came out of your mother's womb. Is that right? Did you have a flashlight? What about a nightlight? What about a candle? No, you were in triple darkness. What about when you plant a seed? Where do you put it? In the darkness of the earth. Is that right? And then it comes up. What about the chicken that's in the egg? It's in what? Darkness. Is that right? All life in the universe comes out of darkness, comes out of blackness. So this is why we call ourselves black, not because it's a color, because it's the essence of all color, where all life came from. All praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. Now, this is why judges wear black, because it represents the power and the authority that they have over the law. This is why when you graduate from high school, they give you what? A black robe to represent the power of the knowledge that supposedly you attain. But in the public school system, that's not why. You just got a black robe. The highest belt in martial arts is the what? Is the black belt. You can't go past black. We have a man here that's an 8th or 10th degree what? Black. He's not getting out of black. He can just go higher into the levels of black, but he ain't getting out of black into something else. The lowest belt is a white belt. Just had to throw that out there. Now, just had to throw it out there. Now, I know you say, well, don't black represent death? Isn't that why they wear black at funerals? No. The reason that people wear black at funerals is because black or dark colors absorb light, and the black represents them drawing energy from one another to get through the hard time. Are y'all with me? So now, all praise is due to Allah.